How My Celibate September Led to Love.
Presented by Still a Frog.
Could you be any more obvious? I asked. What are you talking about? Kai replied. Oh, please, I shot back. Is she really that good looking? Give me a break, he laughed. Happy hour's just started. Why don't you ask me that question around closing time? God, men are despicable. I can't believe you're looking at her when you're with me. I am not with you, he countered. We're not married, living together, in a relationship, or even on a date. And if we were any of those things, I would not have looked. You are such a liar, I smirked. You absolutely would have looked. Well, maybe, he half agreed, but not for long. I'd be discreet, and if you saw me, I'd never admit it, he smiled. Discreet? Discreet? Yeah, right, I scoffed. Any woman so much as bats her eyes, and she can lead you around by your, oh, spare me the slave to my schlong speech, he snickered. Yes, men have a biological imperative. That's why there's a human race. But I can overcome that at any time with my superior intellect and my iron will. My. Care to make a little wager? Kai didn't answer, still focused on the airhead with the rather large chestal region. What's the matter? You chicken? I egged him on. Walk, 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 walk. Afraid you'll lose? Afraid I'll... What kind of stakes are we talking about here? He asked. Loser buys. Friday night happy hours for the next month. You want me to give up sex every night for a month in order to get a couple of free drinks on 4 Friday nights? Seriously? He laughed. I'm sorry. I forgot how badly you need your ego stroked by a bunch of girls too young to remember what dial tones sound like. What was the last one? 20 years younger than you? Was she even out of high school? I smirked. Don't be ridiculous. She at least has to be old enough to drink, he laughed. Walk, 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 walk. I started in at him again, determined to get a rise out of the usually unflappable Kai. He stood up and tossed a few bills on the table. He was actually leaving, but then he turned and said, 2 months, not 1, plus you do my laundry and clean my apartment every week if you lose. Every other week, I countered. Deal, he said, but we don't start until Monday. I'm planning to have a busy weekend. And that's how it began. We'd been coming to this bar for about a year now. Sometimes I wonder what others in here think of Kai and me. Well, technically there is no Kai and me. We did date, one terribly awkward, unforgettably painful evening during which Kai spilled a Bloody Mary on me. Correction, on my white skirt, where the 20-year-old waitress mercilessly flirted with him, and I ended up having to pay the bill. Now, you'd think that I would refuse to ever speak to this man again, much less hang out with him on a regular basis. But the following day, he texted me. He apologized. I texted back. We began a textual relationship based in friendship and friendship only. There's just something about when people write, even a text. When writing, you can be eloquent, clever even. You can be someone else. Or perhaps it's that you're actually being the very you're meant to be. That's how we got here, Kai and me. I guess you could call him one of my best friends. And that's saying something. Kai is not one to friend anybody, and I mean that in the non-social media derivation of the term. He's a bit of a loner, quiet, at least until you get a few drinks in him. That we're as close as we are defies years of him sitting on a shrink's couch, blaming his overbearing mother as the reason for his stunted interactions with women, hence the whole Kai being a man whore thing. This bet of ours was kind of like dry January, but celibate September. And now, here I am, week 3 of Celibate September. Still hanging in there. Please, I'm a woman. This is a cakewalk. Though I will say, twinges of horniness do beckon now and again. Like the other day when I was watching a reality show featuring 20-something singles stranded in the mountains with nothing but a yak pack who'd been told to find love in the frigid temps and also figure out how to survive. I found myself bizarrely aroused by the long-awaited silhouetted for PG-13 audience's sex scene between Daria, a school nurse from Plano, Texas, and Oliver, a mama's boy and professional Twitch streamer who lives with his parents. Fortunately, the guy I went out with this past Friday, Dirk, was not exactly what you would call a temptation, though I'm sure he'd beg to differ, by pleading his case on TikTok. Allow me to recap. I met Dirk via Hinge. You know, the dating app meant to be deleted. I think that's their slogan. I was hopeful, though cautious. Dirk had 2 kids, somewhere in that tween age realm, because apparently they were big into TikTok. Really big into it. He showed me countless videos during the course of dinner. Okay, proud dad, I get it. I'm on TikTok too, he smiled. Oh, yeah? Yeah, you want to see? That was apparently a rhetorical question, because suddenly there was Dirk dancing to some in-car challenge. Dirk then lip-syncing the whole "you can't handle the truth" speech. Dirk impersonating Fred Astaire, dancing with what suspiciously resembled a blow-up doll dressed as a perennially open-mouthed Ginger Rogers. Okay, your turn, he said, after the video montage was over. Pardon? Let me see your TikTok. Oh, I'm not actually on TikTok, I explained. Not on... All right, well, if you were going to be on TikTok, let's see what you do. Excuse me? Dance or lip sync or something, he insisted. Here? I asked, incredulous. See, I need someone who genuinely wants to be a part of this family, and we're TikTokers. It's our passion. TikTok kids, he pointed to his phone. TikTok dad, he gestured toward himself. I'm sorry, that's not my thing. Too bad, he said. And then he got up and left. He literally left the restaurant. Well, damn, this contest was going to be an easy one to win, though according to Kai's latest text, sexlessness suited him. Photo of him flexing, wearing a t-shirt that said, "Abstinence makes the heart grow fonder." Cute. Tonight, I was meeting JT, another cautious Hinge venture. He wants us to go to a brewery and do beer flights. Sounds fun enough. JT is gorgeous, at least from what I can tell given his array of dating app photos. The evening starts off well. There's live music, a nice distraction when you're on a first date. We order a couple of flights. The beers are good, and that's about all I can say regarding this date. It's not that JT's a bad guy or anything. He's pretty nice looking, nearly as good as his pics, a pleasant, albeit one-note conversationalist. JT is into NASCAR. I now know more about Daytona 500 than I ever wanted to. It's not the comprehensive racing rundown, it's just, well, there's no spark. I know, spark is sometimes overrated. There's something to be said for taking your time, getting to know someone, and yada, yada, yada. I don't care what people say. Spark matters. And with JT, nada. So you want to maybe have dinner Thursday, he asks, as our night winds to a perceptible close. I begin. I just got out of a long-term thing, and I'm not as ready as I thought I was. It's not you. What the hell? Might as well let him down easy, right? Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, maybe in a few weeks or something we can try again. Stop while you're ahead, I silently scold myself. Well, sure, but I might be married by then. If you really want to wait and take your chances. I laugh. He does not. I'm serious, he says. I'm looking for a wife. Maybe I'll still be single in a few weeks, but then again, maybe not. I guess I'll take my chances, I say. Still not wholly sure whether this is some sort of prank. We leave. He hugs me goodbye. A twinge of, no, ignore it. Unless, that is, I wanted to present him with my dowry and betrothal chest. I watched him walk away. Not a bad ass, gotta say. Perhaps this no-sex thing is tougher for me than I anticipated? Tuesday night, 4 days before my celibate September is officially over. So far, Kai hasn't caved. At least he says so, and I am still frustratingly abstinent. Now I know why Maria von Trapp, even when faced with the prospect of 7 bratty stepkids and a Nazi invasion to boot, turned her back on the nunnery. Cheers to celibacy, Kai coyly proposes. He'd come over for dinner. To celibacy almost being over, I correct. So how are you liking monastic life? Not a thing, he cockily answers. I'm good. You? Piece of cake, I lie. So what's your secret, being as, you're biologically inclined to require intercourse on a regular basis? Staying away from temptation, he smiles. Not that I haven't been dating. I've been going out with women who seem more the nurturing type. Nurturing type, I ask. Like motherly. No one wants to fuck their mother, he chuckles. Real nice. How have you been coping with a no-sex diet? Okay, I guess. I will admit it's been a bit tougher of a challenge than I initially thought. Really? So horniness is not a foreign concept to the female of the species, he chides? Yes, I am, a tad backed up, as they say. Well, maybe we should do something about that, he teases, while running his finger up my arm. And given the lack of touching in the past 27 days, 9 hours, and 16 minutes, but who's counting? There are instant goosebumps. I pull my arm away. Very funny, I say, a bit softer and perhaps more sultry than I intended. You know, Kai begins, we never did try beyond that first date. Try? I echo. Yeah, try for anything more. He moves closer. More? I realize I'm beginning to sound like a parrot caught in the headlights. He laughs. I think it's the abstinence talking, I say. He moves closer still. If we both throw in the towel, it'd be a tie, he smiles. Admittedly, my knees weaken a little. Yeah, I say, caught up in his smell, the magnetic field of his body drawing me in. There's no shame in losing, especially a contest like this one, he reasons. Losers unite, I smirk, just before closing the gap between us completely. 27 days. Our clothes hit the floor in a glorious get-out-of-jail-free kind of heap, and well, we did it. Kai and me. So if this were Love Island or Married at First Sight or The One That Got Away or any so-named reality romance show, you'd assuredly be Googling, Kai and Callie, where are they now? Allow me to fill you in. We're together. Ish. It's been 5 months, 3 weeks, and 4 days since the night the contest officially ended in what I have to say was an orgasmically mind-blowing consummation. We decided to give dating a try in light of the incredible chemistry. After about 2.5 months of dating, Kai got a job offer in Boston. It was too good to turn down. I stayed here. We're making long-distance work, I think. We did, after all, prove that we could both go a decent stretch without physical intimacy. Only time will tell. Kai, though, says we're a lock to make it. In fact, we currently have a bet on it.